Archaeology professor Hopper is exploring a remote cave system while investigating the mysterious disappearance of a group of hippies from the 1970s. Inside an abandoned minivan, he discovers a bag containing family photographs and several ancient drawings. Through a hole in the ground, he peers into a cave below and notices another cave higher up the hillside in the distance. Curious, he makes his way over to investigate. Looking inside, he finds a cowboy standing completely frozen in place. He calls out to the man but receives no response. Hopper then contacts his graduate student Jackie, tells her that he has found the van, and asks her to assemble a climbing pack for him. Hopper asks Jackie not to tell Taylor about the expedition, knowing that Taylor would be upset if he went exploring without him. Later, Hopper meets with both Jackie and Taylor, only to discover that Jackie has already shared the news. When Taylor eagerly asks when they are leaving, Hopper explains that the situation has changed and that he will be going alone. Taylor then asks if he is planning to find the missing people, and Hopper replies that if he is lucky, he might discover what they were searching for in the first place. The following day, Hopper returns to the cave, secures a rope to a large stone, and lowers it through the hole in the ground. Afterward, he begins climbing the hillside toward the distant cave he had spotted earlier. When Hopper looks into the cave again, he finds that the cowboy is still standing exactly where he was before, frozen in place. As he steps inside, he notices a strange, invisible force field pulsing within the cave. Gathering his courage, he passes through the mysterious barrier and disappears deeper into the cavern. 2 days go by without any word from him. Concerned, Taylor arrives at Jackie's door and tells her that they need to leave immediately. He explains that reaching the cave will require several days of hiking. Jackie disagrees, pointing out that there is no phone signal within 100 miles of the cave and that they could easily get lost along the way. Instead, she insists that they need to borrow a car or truck from someone. She grabs Taylor's phone, calls his friend Kara, and then hands the phone back to him so he can speak with her directly. Taylor invites Kara and her sister Vives to join the expedition and asks Kara to bring her father's four-wheel drive vehicle. Meanwhile, Kara's father is teaching her how to drive a manual transmission. Confident enough to make the trip, she takes the vehicle, while Vives records their entire journey on camera. During the drive, Jackie explains to Vives that their professor, Hopper, has become obsessed with solving the mystery of a group of hippies who disappeared in the 1970s. According to the story, the missing group had set out in search of the legendary Fountain of Youth and were never seen again. Jackie reassures Kara that she does not have to enter the cave if she feels uncomfortable. She explains that Kara and the others can simply remain in the vehicle while the rest of the group investigates. Vives also brings along her friend Furby, who joins them on the trip. During the journey, Furby hands everyone small cameras that can be clipped onto their clothing, allowing them to record everything while keeping their hands free. When the group finally reaches the location, they discover the abandoned van Hopper had found earlier. Inside the vehicle, Taylor comes across a photograph of Hopper's family and shows it to Jackie. The picture reveals an important truth. Hopper had not been searching for a random group of missing hippies. The people he was trying to find were his own parents. While exploring the area, Furby snaps a photograph for his blog. Behind the van, the group discovers a rope leading down into the cave. Realizing it must have been left by Hopper, they decide to follow it and enter the cavern. As they make their way inside, Furby becomes unnerved by the large spiders crawling around the cave. Ignoring the distraction, Jackie ventures deeper underground, carefully following the rope farther into the darkness. As Jackie continues deeper into the cave, she eventually discovers that the rope has been severed near the top. Looking down, she realizes just how enormous the cavern is. She tells the others that the cave extends far deeper than they expected and that she cannot even see the bottom. Meanwhile, Furby, already unnerved by the insects and spiders crawling throughout the cave, decides he has had enough and wants to leave. The group follows him back outside so they can gather their bags and additional supplies before attempting a deeper descent. After preparing their equipment, they return to the cave entrance, while Furby chooses to remain behind. Jackie and Vives begin lowering themselves into the cavern using the rope. Taylor and Kara stay above, waiting for a signal from below. When they hear nothing from the two girls, concern starts to grow. Deciding they cannot wait any longer, Taylor and Kara also grab the ropes and lower themselves into the depths of the cave. As Kara lowers herself into the cavern, She suddenly passes through an invisible boundary hidden within the cave, the same mysterious barrier that Hopper had encountered after entering through the other entrance. A flashback reveals what happened to Hopper when he crossed it. The moment he stepped through the invisible field, the cowboy who had been frozen in place suddenly began moving again. Confused, Hopper glanced back toward the cave entrance and noticed that the light outside was flickering at an unnatural speed. Strange noises then echoed from deeper within the cave, prompting him to turn and run. In his panic, he stumbled and fell to the ground. Quickly getting back to his feet, he sprinted toward the exit. However, when he emerged from the cave, he was shocked to discover that daylight had vanished and night had already fallen. Realizing something was terribly wrong, he rushed toward his truck, only to find it completely overgrown with roots, vines, and branches, as though it had been abandoned for years. Hopper climbs into his truck, but the engine will not start. He steps back outside and cautiously approaches another vehicle parked nearby. Inside, he finds a bag belonging to Jackie and begins calling out for her. He activates several glow sticks and returns to the cave, using them to mark his trail as he searches for Jackie and Taylor. When he throws one through the invisible barrier, it freezes in midair. The moment Hopper crosses the boundary, however, the glow stick drops to the ground. Looking back, he once again sees the daylight outside flickering rapidly. Meanwhile, Jackie, Taylor, Veeves, and Kara have reached the bottom of the cavern. Jackie and Veeves investigate a nearby tunnel, but strange noises and a distant scream send them running back. Jackie wants to leave, but Taylor refuses to go without Hopper. Nevertheless, Jackie begins climbing the rope. It suddenly snaps, sending her crashing to the ground. When Taylor examines the remaining section, it crumbles in his hands. Assuming Furby is playing a prank, he radios him and demands that he stop messing around. Furby does not answer, even when Veeves tries contacting him. Jackie has injured her foot in the fall, while Taylor suspects that his hand is broken. After hearing the strange noises again, Taylor makes another unsuccessful call for help. The group then activates the radio's alert tone and hears a response coming from inside the tunnel. Believing it might be Hopper, Taylor calls out. A voice replies, "Help me." When Taylor asks who is speaking, the voice answers, "Taylor, help me." Taylor asks whether it is Professor Hopper, but the voice identifies itself as Furby. Taylor and Veeves want to enter the tunnel, while Kara insists that Veeves remain with the injured Jackie. Another strange noise interrupts their argument, and Taylor, Veeves, and Kara venture inside, leaving Jackie behind. As Taylor repeatedly calls for Hopper, they notice the light behaving unnaturally. They eventually discover an upward passage containing a rope. Kara sees something behind a rock and urgently orders Taylor to take Veeves into the other chamber. Taylor leads Veeves away and finds Jackie crawling toward them. Unable to walk and frightened by being left alone, she dragged herself into the tunnel. When they return to Kara, they find her in tears. She asks Taylor to remove his camera before showing him what lies behind the rock. Taylor tells Jackie and Veeves to keep their distance, but Veeves uses her camera to look over the stone. Furby is lying motionless on the cavern floor, apparently with a broken neck. Taylor also finds the severed rope and assumes that someone cut it while Furby was climbing down. The group retrieves Furby's camera and reviews the footage. It shows that he waited for nearly half an hour without receiving a response over the radio. While searching the area, he found Hopper's truck, the cave, and the rope leading underground. He also discovered the diary Hopper had taken from his parents' van. The journal describes Spanish conquistadors searching for a cave that indigenous people believed contained magical healing water. According to the story, the Queen sent a dozen expeditions to retrieve a vial of the water for her dying husband. Most of the expeditions were killed by the indigenous people or returned empty-handed. The final group vanished near the Alamo. As the friends continue watching, they notice that the sun is already setting in Furby's footage, even though it was only 1 in the afternoon when they entered the cave. Veeves initially suspects that Furby added a filter as a joke, but Jackie points out that his death proves this is no prank. In the next recording, it is midnight. Furby is still waiting, has no cell service, and cannot drive their manual transmission vehicle. Another recording shows Furby inside the vehicle after reading more of the diary. He explains that the legend of the healing water has been passed down through Hopper's family. After Hopper's father had children and his daughter became ill, he set out to find the cave. By the next entry, another full day has passed. Furby is terrified because the group told everyone they were going to Hamilton Pool, meaning nobody knows their true location. He has no way to drive back, and no one is searching for them. The following recording reveals that yet another day has passed. The vehicle's battery is dead, and Furby has consumed all the food and water. Convinced that his friends are already dead, he decides to climb down Hopper's rope and search for the car keys. The footage shows him descending into the cave. As soon as he crosses the invisible barrier, the sky above begins racing by. The rope eventually snaps, and he plunges to the cavern floor. Vives points out that the camera's timestamp spans several days, even though the group has been below for only about an hour. With Jackie and Taylor too injured to climb, Jackie says they must either continue deeper into the cave or send Kara or Vives back to the surface. Furious, Kara reminds Taylor that they went searching for a missing man, who was himself searching for other missing people, making disaster almost inevitable. Taylor apologizes for dragging everyone into the situation. Kara decides to climb out while Vives stays with Jackie and Taylor. Before she leaves, Taylor gives her a GPS beacon that can transmit an SOS from anywhere in the world once she reaches the surface. Sensing that Taylor understands more than he has admitted, Kara demands the truth. Taylor explains his theory that days are passing outside the cave, causing the light to behave so strangely. Kara dismisses the idea as ridiculous and begins climbing. As she nears the top, she tells Taylor that the air feels different. Emerging from the cave, she discovers that the landscape has become a barren wasteland. She calls down to Taylor, warning him that something is wrong with the air, but receives no response. Unable to get a signal from the beacon, she climbs onto a rock as a massive dust storm approaches. From the higher ground, Kara spots an enormous structure in the sky. She quickly retreats into the cave and tells the others that everything outside is gone. There are no trees or grass, only rocks. Jackie and Vives arrive after hearing what sounded like an explosion. Vives tells Kara that she was absent for only 2 seconds, and Jackie assumes she simply became frightened and refused to climb out. Kara hands them her camera and tells them to watch the footage. What they see leaves them stunned. Taylor then gives Kara his camera, which confirms that she disappeared for only 2 seconds from their perspective, despite spending nearly 30 minutes outside. He explains another detail he noticed in Furby's footage. An entire night passed while the rope remained stretched between the cave and the van. Nobody cut it. It gradually wore through from friction over a much longer period. Taylor directs their attention upward, where the sun appears to rise and set at incredible speed. Overwhelmed, Kara breaks down and apologizes to Vives for bringing her along. Jackie realizes that the cave may truly be the fountain of youth, because time nearly stops inside. Anyone who remains there would barely age. Taylor gathers the rope and tells the others that they have enough to escape, but Jackie wonders how much time would pass outside during a half-hour climb. Taylor then notices inconsistencies surrounding Furby's body. Kara found him face down with a smashed radio, yet the footage shows that he landed on his side and that the radio was still intact. They continue watching the recordings made after his fall and discover that Furby initially survived. He even received Taylor's earlier radio calls. The voice asking Taylor for help really was Furby. The footage then shows an unknown figure attacking him and destroying his radio. Realizing that someone other than Hopper is inside the cave, Taylor arms everyone with rocks and guards the tunnel while Kara prepares to climb. Vives reviews the footage once more and notices something else. After slowing it down, she sees that the sun's path changes with each cycle. It is not merely the days passing outside, but the seasons as well. Each apparent sunrise and sunset represents an entire year. Suddenly, a blue beam enters the cavern and solidifies into a ladder. Kara begins climbing, but quickly descends when someone appears above her. A futuristic humanoid comes down the ladder only to be attacked by a caveman. The humanoid subdues his attacker without killing him, removes the ladder, and proceeds farther into the cave. The group flees into another chamber, where they discover a fire and a body nearby. It is Hopper's mother, who has been trapped there for 40 years. Hopper's father lies nearby as well. 3 cavemen are gathered around the cowboy's body. Vives, Kara, and Jackie flee while Taylor stays behind to confront them. The 3 women hide until the danger appears to pass, after which Kara returns and finds Taylor lying dead on the ground. The humanoid arrives, walks past her, and approaches a small pool of water. After collecting a sample, he carries Taylor's body toward it. Kara tries to stop him but is easily overpowered. The humanoid places Taylor in the water, reviving him, and defeats another caveman who attacks. The humanoid battles the remaining 2 cavemen. During the fight, One of them tears open his helmet, revealing that he is actually an enormous, evolved human. Kara helps him defeat the attackers, but without his helmet, he cannot breathe the cave's toxic air. Taylor returns the mask to him, though it may already be too late. Years continue racing past outside as the sky turns green. When Vives and Jackie rejoin them, Kara asks the dying man what year he comes from. In response, he displays a series of historical news clips about the group's disappearance. One report shows Kara and Vives's father, Rich, appealing to the public for help finding his daughters. Later clips reveal that humanity abandoned the dying Earth aboard a massive ark, the same vessel Kara saw in the sky. The survivors settled on Mars, where they eventually evolved into 8-foot-tall humans who speak an unfamiliar language, all while hoping to return to Earth one day. The group realizes that thousands of years have passed during their short time inside the cave. Even if they reach the surface, the world and everyone they once knew are gone. Jackie says they now have two choices: escape the cave or remain there forever. Taylor takes the humanoid's ladder and insists that they finally have a way out. However, after finding Hopper's bag, he refuses to leave without searching for him. Armed with the cowboy's gun, Taylor ventures deeper into the cave alone. He finds scattered glow sticks, follows the trail past ancient paintings, and discovers a young cave girl surrounded by the bodies of her people. Farther inside, Taylor finds a gravely wounded Hopper. Hopper explains that his sister is trapped in time with bullets flying toward her. Another bubble exists within the cave, where time moves even more slowly. Inside it, Hopper's sister is frozen amid a battle between conquistadors and cavemen. Hopper reveals that the entire cave is a layered defense system protecting the fountain, with time moving at a different speed in every section. Taylor tries to enter the innermost field, but Hopper stops him. When Kara calls for Taylor, he offers to heal Hopper with the water. Hopper refuses, saying that he is finished, and urges Taylor to escape before more cavemen arrive. Nearby, the young cave girl uses the water to revive her fallen people. Taylor returns to his friends and places Furby's body in the healing pool. As Furby and the cavemen begin coming back to life, Hopper opens fire to give the group time to flee. The cavemen chase them to the ladder, and Taylor positions the leader beneath it before everyone begins climbing. When Kara reaches the exit, she discovers that it is covered by water. She reaches through the surface and something grabs her hand. Creatures on the other side pull Kara through just as the cavemen detach the ladder, causing the others to fall. One of the creatures fits Kara with a breathing mask and carries her to the surface, while everyone inside the cave remains nearly frozen in time. Mechanical tentacles then reach through the water and catch Taylor, Vives, and Jackie before they hit the ground. Kara reappears in a futuristic suit and tells them to hold on as the tentacles pull them through one by one. More tentacles descend for Furby and Hopper. Furby awakens aboard a spaceship orbiting Earth, where he reunites with the others. Hopper is rescued as well, followed by his sister and parents, all of whom have been healed or revived by the cave's water. The story ends with the revelation that the group has become famous in this distant future. Together they travel aboard a spacecraft bound for Mars, their new home. Like and subscribe the channel for more videos like these.